All right, let's get into it. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Dockerfile. We're going to see how this one simple text file solves one of the oldest, most annoying problems in all of software development. It works on my machine. How many times have you heard that one? Or said it yourself, right? You built something amazing, it runs flawlessly on your laptop, and the second you send it to someone else or try to deploy it, boom, it all falls apart. It's got to be the single most frustrating phrase for a developer. So, how do we finally put an end to it? Well, the solution is containers. You can think of a container like a perfectly sealed box. Inside that box, you put everything, and I mean everything your app needs to run. Your code, the right libraries, the specific system tools, all of it. By bundling the whole shebang together, you guarantee that it's going to run the exact same way every single time, no matter whose machine it's on. So how do you make these perfect little portable boxes? That's where the Dockerfile comes in. It might just look like a plain text file, but don't let that fool you. It's incredibly powerful. It's the blueprint, the step-by-step recipe that tells Docker exactly how to build your application's environment into a single, reusable thing called an image. Okay, so we've got this blueprint. How does it actually become a real running application? Let's trace the path and see how this text file literally comes to life. It's actually a pretty straightforward three-step dance. First, you write the Docker file. That's our recipe. Second, you run the Docker build command. That tells Docker to read your recipe and cook up an image, which is kind of like a frozen, ready-to-use template of your app. And finally, you use Docker run. That takes the frozen template, thaws it out, and launches a brand new running container. So you go from blueprint to template to a living, breathing application. Okay, enough theory, right? Let's get our hands dirty and look at a real-world example. We are going to deconstruct a super common Docker file for a Node.js app, and we're going to go through it line by painful line to see exactly what's happening. And here it is. Take a look. It's just 5 lines, but these 5 lines pack a serious punch. This is literally all you need to package a complete Node.js application. So let's dive into each of these commands. All right, first up, the from instruction. We're starting at the very top because every single Docker file in existence has to start with this command. It sets the entire foundation for everything else we're about to do. So what from does is it specifies our base image. And this is a huge concept. We're not building our environment from absolute scratch. No way. We're standing on the shoulders of giants. We're starting with an official image that already has Node.js version 18 installed and configured. Think of all the setup time that just saved us. Okay, our foundation is set. Now what? Next up, we have WORKDIR/app. This little command is all about organization and setting the stage for what comes next. The easiest way to think about WORKDIR is that it's basically like typing cd/app inside your container's command line. It tells Docker, hey, create a folder called app, and from now on, every command we run should happen inside that folder. It's a best practice that just keeps things clean and tidy. All right, we've got our Node.js environment, and we've got a folder to put our stuff in. Now we just need to, get our stuff in there. That's where the copy command makes its entrance. And copy is super straightforward. Copy dot means copy everything from my current local directory, that's the first dot, into the working directory inside the container. That's the second dot, which we just set to app. So with one simple line, we're taking all of our project files and dropping them right into our container. Okay, our code has officially landed inside the image. We're getting close. But it can't run on its own, right? It has dependencies, all those libraries and packages listed in our package.json file. We need to install them. This is where the run command comes into play. Run executes commands while the image is being built. So here, run npm install is going to kick off the installation of all our node modules. Each run command also creates a new layer in the image. Now, Docker is really smart about this. It caches these layers. If your code changes but your dependencies don't, Docker can just reuse the cached npm install layer instead of running it all over again, which makes your builds way faster. And that brings us to the grand finale, the last line of our Docker file. Our environment is ready, our code is in place, our dependencies are all installed. All that's left is to tell Docker what to do when we actually fire up the container. This is CMD, and it's totally different from run. CMD does absolutely nothing when you're building the image. Instead, it sets the default command that will execute the moment you start the container. It's the entry point. So when anyone runs our container, it will automatically execute npm start and bring our application to life. So let's just hammer this home because it's super, super important. Run is for build time. It's for setup, for installation, for preparing the environment inside the image. CMD is for runtime. It's the command that actually starts your app when the container launches. Got it? Build versus run. That's the key distinction. And just like that, we've picked apart our entire Dockerfile. We've seen how that simple text blueprint gets translated into a real runnable application. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here. Yeah, and this quote really nails it. Once you've done this a few times, it just clicks. It becomes second nature. You just know you need to copy your dependencies, you need to set a working directory, and you need to define that entry point. It's this predictable structure that makes Docker so incredibly powerful. All right, so let's do a quick lightning round of the key takeaways. 1. Docker files are the recipes for our apps. 2. The core building blocks you'll use constantly are from, WORKDIR, copy, run, and CMD. 3. The difference between build time, run, and runtime, CMD, is absolutely critical to understand. And 4. Putting it all together gives you that holy grail, a portable, consistent app environment. Now, the beautiful thing is, this image we just built, it's not stuck on your computer. You can push it up to a container registry like Docker Hub, and from there, anyone on your team, anywhere in the world, can pull down that exact same image and run a perfect, identical copy of your application with just one command. So this is the entire journey from start to finish. You write the Dockerfile blueprint, you build the image, you run it to test it out on your own machine, you push that image to a shared registry, and then you can deploy it literally anywhere. It's a clean, repeatable, and reliable path from your keyboard to production. By mastering this simple 5-line file, you've unlocked the ability to package any application and ensure it runs reliably anywhere. The "it works on my machine" problem is solved. So the only question left is, what amazing thing will you build next?